fear is quite an interesting topic as well, right?
Yeah. A lot of people talk about fear and that you have to face your fears and get over your fears and work through your fears and all kinds of things like that. And if you don't feel as afraid, then you're probably not doing enough.
Mm. Do you push your boundaries to get over fears?
Good question. I don't know if I do enough, maybe, or I definitely get uncomfortable, and I think that I could have probably pushed harder and faced more of my fears. I don't feel that fearful many times, but I'm not like so keen on like bungee jumping or something like that.
Okay, so that is something that would trigger your fears.
What about you? I don't know if this was a good start for.
I'm not sure whether it's a good start or not, but it's interesting though. I think that a lot of things can trigger the fear part in me. Bungee jump I would probably not do. I've done the paragliding and stuff, which also was a little bit boundary breaking. But I believe that doing physically boundary breaking things are actually helping you in life. Pushing your, you get more you get freer in life when you push yourself physically as well. So I find it interesting in that sense. Many years ago I started with this, military training.
Oh, right, like physical fitness training.
Exactly, out in the woods and in a lot of minus degrees and crawling in the mud and the snow and, whatever. And people usually, when they see me, they don't really think that I would do that. And maybe neither did I, but I thought it was super fun. But what it sort of taught me as well is that I can do a lot more things than I thought that I could, which is a good thing. And that helps me in other situations in life as well. And I think that we are limited a lot, and as leaders, through our fears. And I meet a lot of leaders that fear things in their leadership, at work, in the businesses, towards the board, towards the organization, etc., etc. So I think that you have to sort of push your boundaries in different perspectives to sort of overcome that.
Interesting, because so right now ice baths are a big thing. In fact, I'm guiding a group to do an ice bath and breathing thing soon. And I don't really like icy baths. I don't. It's a boundary. I don't like it.
We have a Christmas tradition.
All right. Yeah, exactly. I moved here, it's like everybody's going in and cracking the ice open and going
Exactly. I let my brother do that.
Yeah, right. And I don't like it. But I do it, right?
Why?
Do I? And peer pressure.
Wow. Okay. That was honest. Honesty is good.
Show my vulnerability there.
Exactly.
I don't know. Does it do me any good? I don't know. Like, do I feel like I'm rejuvenated? Maybe. I feel pretty like lively and everything.
Exactly,
I don't sort of ice bath all the time or anything like that. I definitely think that testing your boundaries is a big thing. And sometimes, instead of facing my fears, I say, I'd rather not do that, or I don't like that. And so sometimes, I could get to break out of that comfort zone. I usually say, oh yeah, I don't like that, I don't want to do that. But I'm not very daring, but I'll try mostly anything if I feel like I could do it. I'll try it, almost anything. Yeah.
Do you think it's important as a leader to sort of break, your limitations or your boundaries, or what are your thoughts on that?
My impressions of leaders have always been like, get somebody else to do it, right? No. Of course, if you're leading from the front, then you want to be able to sort of face your fears. And I think if you're not feeling uncomfortable, probably quite often, then you're could be falling into complacency.
Right.
So it's this kind of idea of constantly driving forward. And especially when I work with entrepreneurs, most of them have this kind of feeling in the belly very often, and they tell me, if I'm not feeling pretty uncomfortable and pretty much like this is like almost overwhelming, then I don't think that I'm growing. I'm not really actually reaching the next stage,
Right.
And I think that that's something that is, is easy to see when you're working with your body or when you're working with your mind, It's a constant progression and you're trying to do increasingly harder things, and that's how you grow.
Yeah.
And resistance is a part of that too. So if things are just easy, you're not facing your boundaries, then you don't have any resistance and you don't get any gain. You know?
No, of course, you don't evolve as a person or as a leader either.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of fear in leadership that you will fail. You don't dare to show your flaws. You don't dare to be vulnerable. You don't dare maybe to let go of things and lose control and let other people take place. You are prestigeful, can you say that?
Yeah.
And that sort of leadership gets a bit uncomfortable for the organization as well when you're actually leading from a fearful place, right?
Definitely, I agree. I think that people who are in leadership positions must deal with these issues. I do see the importance of having a leadership team where you might show another degree or level of vulnerability and openness and face your fears together with them and not necessarily spread that through a bigger organization. I can see that. In an entrepreneurial organization, almost everything is very transparent, and that can be good that you're seeing that people are doing things, but also when someone doesn't want to show their fears, sometimes they're very short or they're very quick, almost too quick decision making. So then other people are off balance, right?
Right.
And it might be better for them to then communicate at a different level or to get some kind of ball plank or whatever you want to call it, someone to bounce ideas off of that they could really
because you can sort of sense those things in a way, even if you're trying to sort of put on a mask and say that everything is fine, but I'm actually super scared here. I know we had this sort of speaker once at a company that I worked with, and he used to talk about mental incontinence. So that's something that is just floating out here, and you can sense that as a colleague, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
But I've met many leaders that are super scared of failing, and many CEOs actually that are super scared of failing and super scared of actually facing the board or management to say how it really is. And say how it's going on in the organization, or these are the issues that we are facing at the moment. And
there's a lot at stake, though.
Yeah, it's a lot at stake, and there's a lot of politics going on as well. So fear of stepping in the right direction, or what should I do here? So better keep it really hard and close to the body, sort of.
So is it a successful strategy, or
no.
What happened? No, and why did you say no?
No,
yeah,
I believe it's not.
You believe it's not?
No.
Yeah.
No, I do believe that we need to be honest and transparent. Obviously, you have to do it in a way that that sort of gives the organization enough space to be engaged and motivated. But as honest and transparent you can be in every situation, I think that helps. Otherwise, you never know where we're going and
when you talk about fears, I mean, let's say you're in a big leadership position, a CEO of a major company, and you have your numbers aren't good, and you have a meeting with the board. Obviously, that's going to come out, right? Eventually, somehow, right? Those things are going to come out. So how do you deal with it? And let's say you believe that. I mean, what are you thinking at that point? Are you thinking this isn't my fault? This is because of the market? What is it that's going on?
I think if you're a CEO, that's your responsibility. You have to take the responsibility. The figures are not showing right. It's my responsibility to see to that they are. So if you don't own that, you're not the leader you should be. What are your thoughts?
I think things are going to come out, right, in terms of, and so to face those things we're avoiding and to get on to the next step is the best way to go.
Yeah, and not blame others.
Yeah, definitely. And I've been in both situations where I've avoided a lot of stuff that I shouldn't have for too long, and I've been at the other side when I've been the butt of somebody kind of saying, oh, it was him that did that, and I'm like, no. So both things, I've been in both situations.
Right.
And it's easier to blame somebody else, right, than it is to take the blame, let's say. But when you actually stand there in your fear and deliver and decide, it's better. It just always is better.
Always better.
Yeah.
It's always better.
Yeah. Even if it feels uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Look, uncomfortable is good.
Yeah.
Push through it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Push through it. Yeah.
Push through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. Face your fear.
Exactly. Do
Yeah.
that.